Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of We Bowling over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know y'all seeing the title. I know y'all seeing the cover art. So I gotta ask, is this the new Kawhi? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of We Ballin' over here. If y'all like the basketball content that we bring in, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Please remember, We Ballin' over here, sponsored by OGARYTV. Yes, sir. Let's not waste no time. Let's get into it. So, James Harden. As we all know, there's a situation happening in Houston right now. James Harden should have been in training camp, should have been with the team, but unfortunately, he's not. You know, there's images of James Harden out partying with Lil Baby, flexing with him on his birthday. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that, but when it's time to get to work, Mr. Harden isn't there. There was a situation where they said, he'll be in for the late night workout. You know, don't worry. You just missed. Sorry, I know it's unfortunate, but he ain't show up to that. Practice next day, he ain't show up to that. Now it's coming out, James Harden is willing to go to Philadelphia or a contender. Now, as a Toronto fan, I'm going to be honest with you. Did I jump and say, hey, we should? No, not at all. Not at all. There's no rush for James Harden. It's not like I think James Harden would take Toronto over the top like Kawhi. I'm not saying, they're the same player. I don't think the same thing would happen. But I had to throw it out there because, as much as I say I don't think it would happen, I don't concretely believe it couldn't happen. Knowing the system Toronto runs, knowing the coach, knowing the organization, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we plugged the James Harden in and we in the finals again doing what we do. Y'all seen us the last time we went to the finals, so say no more. So it would be interesting to see that. I'm not saying it would get us over the top. And actually, you know what? To be honest, I wouldn't even want to see that because we have so much young talent in Toronto that still hasn't even touched the surface of where they're going to be. So I don't want to see us having to break up our young talent and mess up the team chemistry in any way. So as much as I put it out there, it's just a question that some people might ask. You should be open to it and be able to say, I could see it this way or I can't see it this way. So I put it out there to say, yeah, would James Harden be the new Kawhi if he came to Toronto? Would Toronto be able to take James Harden over the mountain where he hasn't been? Would he be able to come into our system, into Toronto Raptors system, Tampa Bay Raptors, for a little bit, come into their system and be able to contribute as much as Kawhi did? And I'm not saying Kawhi was all in all the end and be all as to why we won the championship. I mean, he did hit that big shot, but ultimately we had a lot of guys step up. A lot of guys, as you heard me say many times, and as you know, Fred VanVleet, Finals MVP vote, Kyle Lowry, Game 6, what a performance. Trust me, go back, look at the tapes. So there's a lot of other factors as to why the Raptors won the championship that year, but with having such a great organization, having such a great coach, having such a great core, having majority of the, well, not majority, but the main pieces that help win the championship still intact, and to add a superstar such as James Harden, because I still do have to say he is a superstar, despite he hasn't won a ring, but MVPs, he's done that, scoring titles. So he's done his thing. It's just he hasn't gone over the mountain, which, sometimes I'm not even gonna say you can't blame him because there was opportunities he had to certainly do better than what he's done, and it's sad to see him get the chance to play with about what? Wow, James Harden played with a lot of great players. Russell Westbrook twice, Chris Paul. This guy played with Kevin Durant when they were in OKC. It's like, at some point, you got to look at James and say, James, man, what are you doing? You you had the pieces where you try to make the team work exactly in your favor because they demolished their roster just to fit James Harden's type of play. And I also think that's a little selfish of him as well because, the franchise did do all of this for you. And I'm pretty sure you signed off on a lot of the things they did. So, in a sense, you have to take a lot of the blame too. And maybe another thing is you have to change your game. I remember, God rest his soul, the great Kobe Bryant did say that's not championship winning basketball. And I remember something in the All-Star game where Steph Curry was saying that you were tired of playing that way. So, James, you have to look into yourself, man. I think you do have to realize some of the blame, if not most of the blame, is on you. Because I would like to see you do more than just worry about the offensive end. I'd like to also see you step up more defensively. That's a form of leadership. And I mean, that's you. And as I said, that's why I can't really accept Toronto taking on James Harden because I don't believe James Harden is built with that Toronto mindset. You know, no offense. I mean, like, not to say that Toronto mindset. I just mean like sports wise, because hey, you're a very successful man in this world. Keep going, bruh. But I'm talking about like sports wise. I don't. That dog in you. Sports wise, that dog. Even if you played at an amateur level, you know those guys. So it is what it is. Would love to see what happens with this whole situation. If he is going to go back to Houston, if he's going to go to Philadelphia, where Daryl Morey is at, who Philadelphia would be willing to give up. Is it Joel Embiid? Is it Ben Simmons? Is Tobias maybe in it as well? So a lot of things, and that's the beauty of the NBA. It's almost back. I'm loving it. Raptors almost getting their first preseason game on. Want to see who developed. Want to see who changed certain things, added certain things. Want to see who tightened up certain things. Yo! Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. You know we bowling over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.